Let's be honest, when it comes to selling a home, it just sucks. Moving sucks, it's a huge process, and it's no fun. So at Brower Real Estate Group, we really want to take the suck out of selling. And that's why today we're going to give you a few tips and tricks on how to move like a pro. So stay tuned. You're going to want to make sure that you catch all of these because they're really going to help take the stress and the suck out of selling your home. So first things first, the number one thing, and you're going to need to do this for showings anyway and prepping your home and getting it on the market, we've got to declutter. It's a great opportunity to go through your house, find things that you're just not using anymore, and either sell them on KSL or Facebook, or you could also donate them. There's a lot of good stores around that will take those donations still. And so that's a good opportunity as well. Things to think about as you're trying to find what to get rid of and declutter. Number one, look at each item and say, okay, have I used this item in the last 12 months? Because there are some seasonal items, right? But you want to look at each item and say, have I used this in the last 12 months? Or have I not even touched it, and can I do without it? If that item hasn't been used in the last 12 months and there's no sentimental value to that, there's no reason why you're keeping it, get rid of it. It's time to de-junk. The other thing about decluttering that is really beneficial when it comes to getting your home on the market and getting it ready to sell is we go through your home with you and tell you things that we need to get out of the home to make the home look more appealing to potential buyers. So as we're telling you those things to either take down off the wall or, these decorations or whatever to box up, that's another good opportunity to say, okay, do I really want to pack this item away and box it up and take it with me to the next house? Or is it time to get rid of this item? Decluttering can be hard. I know there's a lot of different personality types that you just want to hang on to things, and there's a lot of things that you're emotionally attached to that have that sentimental value. It really is nice, though, to be able to get those things out of the way that you aren't attached to. I hear funny stories all the time of people who, if they're building a new home, they end up, having a lot of stuff in storage for a time, and then it's really funny that they end up moving into the new home and those things remain in the storage unit because they just don't use them, or they get put in the basement and those boxes never get unpacked, and it's years later down the road and these people still haven't even unpacked those items. Those are the type of items that we're looking for to try and sell or donate to help you declutter, and that is the first step. To help you with that declutter step, it brings us to our second point that I wanted to talk about today, and that is moving boxes. Now, you might think, oh, well, what's so complicated about moving boxes? You go get some boxes and away you go. Well, while that can be true, there is an easier way to do it. I know a lot of people like to try and get free moving boxes. They either have friends that have just used some, or they go to grocery stores and try and use those. And while that is a good option, and if you can't afford to buy moving boxes, then yes, you need to take that option. The better option, though, if you have the money and the capability to do so, is to go and buy new moving boxes. Ones that haven't been written on, ones that haven't started to tear or have got the creases in them so they're falling apart. And then the other thing that I want to point out is when you're getting these moving boxes, my advice to you is to not buy the smaller, large boxes. Don't do it. Buy all medium-sized boxes. It makes it so much easier to stack everything, and you can fit most things that you need to in those medium-sized boxes. If you do need to get a larger box, I would suggest rather than using a large box or buying a large box, get some of those Rubbermaid totes or containers and use those to pack away your stuff. Those are much more durable, and when it comes to large items that you're putting in these boxes, they can be pretty heavy, and they're just gonna rip through the tape in a cardboard box. Use those Rubbermaid totes, and you can use those at the new house once you get moved in to help keep track of some storage items as well, because those are easy to stack. Another little tip when it comes to the moving boxes, double up on tape. Don't just use one strand. Don't be cheap or skimpy on the tape. You want to make sure that that box is going to hold up through the move and your stuff's not going to come crashing through the box while somebody's carrying it. The other thing that I'd mention on tape, I have started to see a lot of people get different colored duct tape. And what they do is they label each color a specific room in the new house. So that way, rather than trying to look all over the box and see where that box needs to be going in the new house, it's very easy to identify orange or red, green, blue duct tape. And then that way, you know exactly where that's going to go. You can take it right to those things. And what I would recommend is with the red duct tape, put that on items that you know are going to be essential and that you're going to need right away when you get in the new house. That way you're not digging through boxes trying to find that thing that you need, such as like your toothbrush the night you move in, or those bed sheets to put on the beds. Put those items in a box, put red duct tape on them, and then that red duct tape is stuff that you know, hey, these are things I'm gonna need the night we move in. When it comes to moving, if you're rounding up a lot of volunteers, you know, family members, friends, neighbors to come and help you move, the absolute worst thing that could happen, the worst thing that could happen if I'm asked to go help somebody move and I show up and their boxes aren't packed yet and I'm spending my time packing boxes, it drives me nuts. That's a good way to get on somebody's bad side, right? Because they're there to help you move and they're happy to help you move, but they're taking time out of their day to do that, to help you move boxes from the old house to the new house, not there to help pack up your personal items and belongings, okay? So make sure that you're prepared. Make sure that you get those things packed up with plenty of time. Once you go under contract on your existing home, you usually have about 30 days to get all packed up and then begin the moving process. 30 days is plenty of time. Don't put it off till the end. Make sure that you're boxing up as much as you can throughout the process and only keeping those essential items that you need for those 30 days. Everything else can be boxed up, put away, so that way you're ready to go come moving day and you've got those friends, family, volunteers showing up to help you. The last little tip that we want to give you when it comes to moving like a pro has to do with loading the moving truck, okay? Whether it's a big U-Haul that you've rented or you've got a truck and trailer that you're using, either way, these apply. The first thing you want to do is pack the furniture first. Furniture is going to be heavy. You want to put that stuff down on the bottom so it has a good base, and then it's easy to stack those medium-sized boxes on top of the furniture. You also want to make sure that while you're putting that furniture in, you're using lots of tie downs as you go. You don't want to just shove everything in and then put tie downs just on the back to keep stuff from falling out. Use tie downs as you go to make sure each segment is secured properly. I would recommend, if you've got, you know, a big trailer or the U-Haul truck, split that, you know, that space in 4 separate spaces and secure each fourth. Hopefully that makes sense. So you pack everything, you load it up, you load up the first fourth of the trailer, and then you tie that stuff down and secure that stuff. Then you move on to the second, third, and fourth. And then that way, all of your stuff's going to be secure. And if for some crazy reason one of your tie down straps comes loose or fails or break, you're not losing everything because you just tied down a strap at the end. You've got these different segments that are secure. And so, you know, worst case scenario, you're only losing a fourth of your stuff, or a fourth of your stuff's falling out all over the road. Be sure on your furniture as well to use lots of moving blankets. This is a great opportunity to not have to box up the blankets that you have and use those on the furniture to make sure that it's protected. I see way too many people who have these nice items, they move them, and when they get to the new house, there's a great big scratch in the kitchen table or in the nightstand or something like that, right? So use those moving blankets, use those blankets that you have in the move to make sure that you're protecting your furniture and your items. The last little tidbit that I will give when it comes to loading a truck is try and pack your beds last. That's the last thing you want on the trailer or the last thing you want in the U-Haul van. If you're moving to a new place and you've got to travel some distance to get there, you pack your beds last. That way, if you get there and it's really late at night, you're just tired, you've just spent all day moving, and you really don't want to do a whole lot more, you can pull those mattresses off the back easily, put those on the floor if need be, get that box that has the red tape where you've got your sheets, or pull your sheets and moving blankets off of your stuff that you've used to protect it, and you can just make your bed and you can go to sleep, and you can leave the truck or trailer to unload for another time. That way you know that you're all set, you're going to be able to spend that night in that house, and you're not, you know, up till 2-3 o'clock in the morning trying to unload this truck to then be able to get to your beds to then be able to go to sleep. If you have any questions or other comments, or you have some tips that you'd like to include in this video and make sure people know about from your moving experiences, please be sure to leave those in the comments below. And as always, please like and subscribe. We really appreciate the support and hope to continue to bring you guys some value through these videos. Thanks.